Hey guys, so I want to talk to you about the idea of training children. I'm not a fan. Now, this isn't to say that I think children don't need training. Children need discipline. Children need physical activity, and to a degree they need structured activity. Problem we run into is twofold. One, children do not take instruction well. They don't understand what's going on, and so you have to greatly simplify things for them. And if you're concerned about the integrity of what you're doing at all, that's a kind of a big punch in the eye. That's really, really difficult to get around. But not functionally, but emotionally. But even if you get past that, you have to understand that once the child hits puberty, they pretty much have to relearn everything all over again. Their bodies go through such rapid change at that time that not only is their hormone balance different, and thus all of their chemical processes are running differently, and they're going to react differently to stimuli and stressors differently. Their bones, their ligaments, their muscles all start reacting differently. They become uncoordinated and have to basically relearn these skills. So all those skills that you spent teaching them, they have to readapt during those puberty years. And yes, it only takes 6 months to a year or so to kind of readapt them to that. So they'll just have a rough patch, and most of the time they have no idea what's going on. And they just figure, they're just having a rough time or whatever. Well, okay. So what is important? What do we teach children? Because obviously we see that children compete in, gymnastics. Children compete in karate. Children compete in athletic pursuits all the time. So what do we see? What do we do with all that? How do we process this information? I would say the important thing is to just get children moving with solid principles first. Get them doing things like rocking forward on the balls of their feet and start running with that forward tilt. Give them simple instructions on just how to move. Give them simple instructions on how to play and experience and explore and express. Give them simple instruction and direction. Obviously, you hear for years, don't give a child a barbell because it's going to stunt his growth. Well, there's no real science to that. The whole scarring of the growth plates and stuff is highly over exaggerated in the public spectrum. Hey, shush. She's talking too much. Anyway, so the best things to do with them is to just get them moving. You get them on this path of doing things like, say, bear crawls and climbing trees. Throwing punches and kicks is fine. I've seen 4-year-olds compete gracefully, beautifully in jiu-jitsu competition. It's not to say they can't be taught. They certainly can be taught. I'm not interested in being the one to teach them that right at this point in my life. I've got my hands full with adult matters. But children benefit the most by just playing and exploring. They need to learn how to just feel the ground beneath them, feel the surfaces they make contact with, feel the rocking and weight shifting, because all that stuff is going to be what matters. It doesn't matter if you can throw a beautiful kick, or a jump spinning reverse crescent kick or whatever. It doesn't matter if you can do all that stuff if you don't have any kinesthetic awareness about the environment that you're in. And so it's important, yes, for children to do some training when they're young. she's just going off. I hate it when she's in heat. But they really don't need that strict Shaolin training of, hold your horse stance for half an hour and, throw 6,000 punches and, do hanging sit-ups until, you can fill up this jar with water on every sit-up. Like, they don't need that kind of hardcore training at such a young age. They need to learn how to explore and feel and express more naturally, more primally. They need to tap into their more animalistic, primal sensitivities while they're at that age. Get them running, get them climbing, get them jumping, and bit by bit, piece by piece, in a fun and not so hardcore way, correct their form as they go along, as they understand things. If you see them sitting on their heels too much, start telling them to dig their toes into the ground a little bit more, bend their knees a little bit more, just little cues. They really will benefit a lot more from simple physical exploration than they will from hardcore rote training. So keep that in mind when you're training children, because you're going to be doing them a disservice and causing yourself and them a lot of frustration by trying to be so militaristically strict on their training. Instill discipline, of course. Teach them codes of conduct. That's fine. But let them explore naturally, physically, sensitively. And let them come about it on their own, within themselves. Because when they learn how to feel the ground beneath them, when they learn how to deal with surfaces they come in contact with, then when they have to relearn and recoordinate at puberty, it won't be so tough, because they've familiarized themselves with their relationship with the surfaces they come in contact with. That's all I got for you. I will talk to you guys later. Good journey.